Well, good morning. We're still at Caprock Canyon, and I'm just waiting for Carol to get out of the shower and saw this gorgeous view here across the canyon. In any case, we're going to be driving up into New Mexico today, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So why don't you stick with us, and we'll see you on the road. So we're just taking a morning drive here in Caprock Canyon. It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks a lot like we're in Utah or New Mexico or something. Well, there is one thing I'd say about the bathrooms here. It's if you're afraid of bugs, don't go in the bathroom. I don't know how many beetles, and spiders, and grasshoppers, and crickets, and everything were everywhere. Showers were great. Great pressure. In fact, I ended up using nothing but the cold water, and it was not cold. I thought I still had the hot on. Here we are, following GPS coordinates. We have no idea here.
Skirting around Amarillo.
You skirt around the town so you can save your time, and then you end up on roads like this. But we do get to turn up here. Maybe it'll turn back to asphalt. I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not either.
Oh.
Hey, at least it's not raining.
Looks like we're going to go on to someone's ranch is what it looks like.
They're testing all the suction cups that are holding our electronics onto the dashboard.
This is how it is to travel with me. This was supposed to be a paved road. In fact, I actually went out of my way to mark this because it looked like a paved road. So
I will accept all nominations for sainthood.
if there's a rock in the road, she has to take something to calm her nerves. It's kind of interesting that we have this four-wheeler and go out roads, and Carol's freaking out that we're going to somehow die in our four-wheel drive truck, and then a Subaru passes us. So, nothing wrong with Subarus, but they don't have quite the clearance we do. So, you all got to see a little bit of
GPS text.
Traveling with Trigger here. Well, this is our first stop today. Well, in fact, it's the only stop other than our campground tonight. And it's Capulin Volcano National Monument here in New Mexico. In front of us, that's the actual crater. So anyway, since we have the dog, we're not going to be able to actually climb up any of the trails here, but we thought we'd drive up and give you a view of the road as well as sight into the crater here. So we're up in the crater now. The park here is part of the 8,000 square mile Raton Clayton volcanic field. And while this crater was formed about 60,000 years ago, volcanic activity in the area has been traced back 9 million years. Fortunately, the Capulin volcano is considered to be extinct, but there are others in the area that are only dormant. They say you can see 4 states from up here, but I don't think that's happening today. Alright, so we're here in Sugarite Canyon, and we're headed to Boondocking Campground. As I said before, we prefer not campgrounds, although we will be in probably several on this trip. But Texas doesn't have really any public lands, or very little, and not in the ways we went. So there's no real dispersed camping along the way. And then we're only going through a small sliver of New Mexico, maybe 100 miles at the most. And there aren't really any good public lands in this area as well. Alright, well, this is us coming into our campsite. All right, so here we are at Sugarite Canyon in northern New Mexico. In fact, just up the road a few miles, you go right into Colorado from the park. And this is our camp spot. And I think I made the comment already that we'd prefer to probably be dispersed camping around here somewhere, but there really isn't anywhere in this particular part of the state. Good afternoon and welcome to Sugarite Canyon. It's another state park, but this is New Mexico. In fact, we're right at the border of New Mexico and Colorado. And we camped here before, but we stayed down in Lake Alice, which was a nice campground. Actually, this one's a little more secluded. The other one is more of it's the electric hookups campground. And I think that maybe it's just a little more dense. But anyway, as I said, these first 2 days are pretty much driving. We did 400 miles Monday on the 6th, and then today we did about 340 and got out of Texas after about 240. So about 640 miles just to get out of Texas. So like I said, it's a fairly long drive from central Texas, unless you're going east through Houston, where maybe it's only a few hundred miles, maybe 250 or 300 or something like that. But so tomorrow we'll be into Colorado. We'll be making a few stops along the way, including an old ghost town, and then ending up at Twin Lakes area. At least that's the plan. And hope you're going to join us. We may be in the same video still. I'm not sure I've got enough yet to put in to 2 videos. You know, this vlogging's a lot of work. I really respect these guys that do a lot of it and have a lot of content, because it's a lot of work. You know, these have been 2 driving days, so hopefully things will improve and you guys will stick along as I kind of learn how to do this. All new to me, and but I'm enjoying it. So stick around, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, so we are in Colorado now. And if you look ahead, you can see how hazy it is. In fact, just a few miles back before we got off the freeway, we couldn't even see those mountains. And we probably were only maybe, 5 or 10 miles back. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be an interesting trip as we move north and possibly into this little more smoke. Well, we are in St. Elmo, Colorado, and apparently it's one of the most intact and well-preserved ghost towns in the state. And even though it's at an elevation of 10,000 feet, it's accessible all year long. And I gotta tell you, the road is really nice and mostly paved all the way. This town was formed back in 1880 as the population grew after a discovery of a pretty rich silver vein in 1875. That and the coming of the railroad about the same time. But like a lot of ghost towns, it had several fires which diminished the population. But also, and you'll hear this a lot as we've got some other ghost towns planned, there was also the repeal of the Sherman Silver Purchase Act of 1890 and 1893. So most of the mining towns that relied heavily on silver were pretty much decimated at this time. No self-respecting town would be without their fire department. The general store here, I think, is open. It is today, and apparently it is throughout the summer months. And then I guess there's this bed and breakfast that's open all year round. So it's a pretty cool stop. I think it's well worth going off the road to check it out. It's not that far in and easy to get here, so yeah, go for it. As we drove out of St. Elmo and to our camp for the night, I wasn't feeling so well, and we didn't get to do any sort of a wrap or ending to the video. So we'll see you on the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And be sure to let us know what you're enjoying and what you think we could do better. We're new to this, so we're just learning. And thanks a lot.